Some storms are loud enough for everyone to see. Others happen silently inside the heart. Tonight, this prayer is for anyone asking Jesus to bring peace into the storm.
Some storms are loud enough for everyone to see. Others happen silently inside the heart. Fear, stress, uncertainty, emotional exhaustion, and the feeling that life is slowly becoming too heavy to carry alone. Some storms are loud enough for everyone to see, but others happen silently inside the heart. Fear, stress, uncertainty, emotional exhaustion, and the feeling that life is becoming too heavy to carry alone can slowly overwhelm the soul. Tonight, this prayer begins in the middle of a storm. Just like the disciples found themselves surrounded by violent waves while crossing the sea with Jesus beside them in the darkness. The disciples were experienced fishermen who understood danger, wind, and deep water. Yet the storm that night became so violent that even they believed they might not survive until morning. Water filled the boat while fear filled their thoughts. Panic slowly replaced peace as they struggled desperately to stay above the waves crashing against them from every side. Many people listening to this prayer understand that feeling deeply, life sometimes becomes overwhelming without warning. One difficult season turns into another. Stress keeps building. Fear grows louder. The future feels uncertain. Quietly inside, the soul begins asking the same question the disciples asked during the storm. Lord, do you see what is happening to me right now? Even while the storm raged around them, Jesus was still in the boat. That detail matters deeply tonight. The storm was real, but his presence was also real. Fear tried convincing the disciples that they were abandoned, yet they were never alone for a single moment. God's presence remained beside them even while the wind howled around the boat in darkness. Some people listening feel surrounded by emotional storms tonight. Anxiety about the future, pressure at work, financial stress, family struggles, private grief, exhaustion nobody else fully sees, and quietly inside, the heart feels tired from trying to stay strong for too long without ever fully resting emotionally or spiritually. This prayer asks God to calm the storms happening inside the mind. Let racing thoughts become quieter. Let panic stop speaking louder than peace. Let fear lose its grip little by little. The same Jesus who calmed the sea is still able to calm anxious hearts, exhausted minds, and weary souls tonight, no matter how impossible peace may feel right now. When the disciples woke Jesus during the storm, they cried out honestly from fear and desperation. Sometimes prayer begins exactly the same way, not polished, not perfect, simply exhausted people crying out because they no longer know how to carry everything alone. God still listens to prayers spoken through weakness, tears, uncertainty, and emotional exhaustion. The waves continued crashing against the boat while the disciples fought desperately to survive. Fear often works the same way emotionally. One anxious thought becomes another. One burden leads into another burden. Eventually, the soul feels emotionally overwhelmed and mentally exhausted from trying to stay above the pressure, constantly surrounding everyday life. Jesus stood up in the middle of the storm and spoke directly to the wind and the sea. He said, "Peace, be still." Immediately, the storm obeyed him. The wind stopped, the waves calmed. Silence replaced chaos. The disciples witnessed that even nature itself responded to the authority and peace carried by Jesus in the middle of darkness. Tonight, this prayer speaks those same words over troubled hearts. Peace, be still. Peace over anxious thoughts. Peace over emotional exhaustion. Peace over fear about tomorrow. Peace over homes carrying tension and stress. peace over relationships carrying emotional pain, peace over minds that have forgotten what calm feels like after too many difficult seasons. The storm inside the mind can sometimes feel stronger than the storm outside. Overthinking, fear, emotional heaviness, and exhaustion slowly steal joy from everyday life. This prayer asks God to interrupt those storms and bring deep rest into places that have been emotionally overwhelmed for far too long without relief or comfort. Some people have spent so long surviving emotionally that peace now feels unfamiliar. Their thoughts stay alert constantly. Their emotions stay tense. Their body carries stress every day without rest. But Jesus still invites weary souls into peace. Not shallow distraction, but deep spiritual rest that reaches the mind, heart, and soul completely. The disciples feared they would sink before morning came. Many people today quietly fear emotional collapse, failure, disappointment, sickness, loneliness, or losing control completely. Yet God remains present even when fear becomes loud. The storm never removed his ability to protect, strengthen, guide, and sustain tired hearts through the darkness. Lord, calm every storm happening inside this home tonight. Remove tension, bitterness, fear, anger, and emotional heaviness. Let kindness become stronger than frustration. Let understanding replace conflict. Let peace slowly return to rooms that have carried emotional pressure and stress for far too long without true rest. Every family member is lifted before God during this prayer. Cover children, parents, spouses, friends, and loved ones with peace and protection. Guard their minds from fear. Guard their hearts from discouragement. Let no storm become greater than your ability to guide, strengthen, and protect them through every difficult season ahead. Some storms are physical, some emotional, some spiritual, some financial. Some remain hidden deep inside the heart where nobody else fully understands the pain. But Jesus sees every storm clearly tonight. Nothing about this struggle is invisible to him. His compassion remains close to exhausted people carrying silent burdens alone. The disciples questioned whether Jesus cared about what was happening to them. Fear often whispers the same lie today, but God has not abandoned tired hearts. Even during silence, he still remains near. Even during uncertainty, he still remains faithful. Even during storms, his presence never leaves emotionally exhausted souls behind. Jesus did not panic during the storm. The disciples did. Fear changes perspective. It makes people believe disaster is already certain before the story has even finished unfolding. This prayer asks God to replace panic with trust, fear with peace, and emotional heaviness with steady hope, little by little tonight. Lord, bring healing into emotionally exhausted hearts tonight. Heal hidden wounds, heal anxiety, heal emotional burnout, heal private grief, heal fear about the future. Bring rest into minds carrying pressure every single day. Let your peace reach deeper than human comfort ever could reach inside weary hearts. Some listeners feel tired from carrying responsibility for everyone else, while quietly neglecting their own soul. Always helping, always supporting, always staying strong, yet internally becoming emotionally exhausted. This prayer asks God to strengthen what has become weary deep inside and restore peace to overwhelmed hearts tonight. Storms do not remove God's authority over life. The disciples survived because Jesus remained with them through every wave and every fearful moment. This prayer does not promise a life without storms, but it reminds the heart that God remains present inside every storm and his peace remains stronger than chaos. Lord, speak peace into every fearful situation right now. Peace over financial stress, peace over health concerns, peace over uncertainty, peace over relationships carrying tension, peace over emotional heaviness, peace over thoughts that keep racing late into the night and refusing to let exhausted hearts truly rest. Some people listening quietly carry disappointment with life itself, prayers that seemed unanswered, seasons that lasted longer than expected, emotional exhaustion from waiting too long. Yet even delayed answers do not mean God stopped working behind the scenes. His timing still holds purpose beyond what fear understands tonight. Difficult seasons sometimes reveal God's faithfulness more deeply than comfort ever could. Even now, while answers still unfold slowly, God remains active inside this story. This storm will not become greater than His ability to strengthen, guide, heal, restore, and carry tired hearts safely through difficult nights ahead. This prayer also asks for protection from spiritual heaviness, hopelessness, negativity, destructive thoughts, and fear. Let darkness lose its influence. Let truth become louder than anxiety. Let peace become stronger than panic. Let the soul feel spiritually lighter again after carrying emotional pressure for far too long. Lord, teach this heart to trust You even before the storm fully calms. Teach this mind to rest even before every answer arrives. Faith often grows strongest in moments where peace becomes a choice instead of a feeling, and trust becomes stronger than fear surrounding the soul. The same authority Jesus used to calm the sea still belongs to Him today. Nothing about this life is outside His ability to guide, protect, heal, strengthen, and restore. Storms may feel powerful emotionally, but they never become greater than God Himself and His peace over troubled lives. Some listeners feel emotionally isolated even while surrounded by people, smiling externally while quietly fighting internal battles nobody else fully understands. But God still sees every hidden burden and remains close to exhausted hearts, carrying silent storms deep inside thoughts. They rarely speak aloud to anyone else. Lord, restore calm thinking again tonight. Remove overthinking. Remove constant worst-case scenarios. Remove panic about tomorrow. Bring wisdom where confusion exists and stability where emotions have felt unsettled for too long. Let the mind breathe again beneath the peace and presence of God tonight. Even during storms, there are still moments of grace. Small reminders that God remains near, a kind conversation, unexpected strength, quiet hope slowly returning, one peaceful moment after another. God's goodness still appears during difficult seasons, even when fear tries convincing the soul that hope has disappeared completely. The disciples crossed safely to the other side because the storm never had final authority over their lives. Fear often convinces people they will never survive emotionally or spiritually. Yet, God continues carrying tired hearts farther than they imagined possible, even while difficult seasons still feel overwhelming tonight. Lord, bless this home with peace tonight. Let sleep come easier. Let anxiety loosen its grip. Let exhausted minds finally rest. Let emotional heaviness begin lifting little by little. Cover this family with calm, protection, healing, and emotional peace through every hour of the night ahead. Some storms happen publicly, while others happen silently inside thoughts nobody else hears. But Jesus understands both completely. He sees every hidden fear, every quiet tear, every exhausted prayer, and every burden the soul struggles to explain aloud. Nothing about this pain is hidden from His compassion tonight. The disciples became afraid because they focused entirely on the storm instead of remembering who remained with them. Fear still works the same way today. It pulls attention toward chaos until peace feels impossible. This prayer asks God to redirect the heart back toward trust and spiritual calm. Lord, strengthen every person listening who feels mentally exhausted tonight. Strengthen people carrying too much pressure. Strengthen people emotionally tired from life. Strengthen those quietly fighting anxiety, grief, disappointment, fear, loneliness, and emotional heaviness every single day, without feeling fully understood by others around them. God's peace does not always remove storms instantly. Sometimes His peace steadies the heart while the storm slowly passes by. Even then, His presence remains enough to carry tired souls through difficult nights. Uncertain seasons, emotional exhaustion, and overwhelming situations that once felt impossible to survive. Every fearful expectation about tomorrow is surrendered to God now. Fear about failure, fear about sickness, fear about finances, fear about rejection, fear about losing control completely. None of these fears become greater than God's ability to sustain, guide, strengthen, and protect exhausted hearts through uncertainty. The storm eventually passed. The waves eventually calmed. The fear eventually faded. This prayer reminds tired hearts tonight that difficult seasons are not permanent forever. Peace can still return. Healing can still happen. Better days can still arrive unexpectedly, even after emotionally overwhelming storms and long nights. Lord, cover this heart with peace tonight. Peace stronger than fear. Peace stronger than overthinking. Peace stronger than emotional exhaustion. Let calm replace panic. Let hope slowly rise again inside weary souls carrying burdens that have felt too heavy for too long without relief or comfort. The disciples asked each other after the storm, "Who is this, that even the wind and sea obey him?" The storm revealed the authority of Jesus more clearly than before. Difficult seasons still reveal His faithfulness to people today, even while life feels uncertain and emotionally exhausting. Some people listening have almost forgotten what emotional peace feels like because stress has lasted so long. This prayer asks God to restore calm again slowly. Let the soul breathe without constant fear controlling every thought. Let rest return to emotionally tired hearts tonight. Lord, protect this family through every visible and invisible storm ahead. Walk before them tomorrow. Guide their decisions. Guard their minds. Strengthen their hearts. Let your peace remain over this home, even when life becomes uncertain and emotionally overwhelming during difficult seasons of fear and pressure. The sea obeyed Jesus because creation recognizes its creator. The same Jesus still speaks peace over troubled lives today. Nothing about this situation feels too chaotic, too broken, or too impossible for Him to touch with grace. Healing, wisdom, protection, and calm tonight. This prayer places every burden into God's hands tonight. Every fear, every disappointment, every anxious thought, every private struggle, every emotional wound. The heart no longer carries these things alone. God remains near to tired and overwhelmed souls asking Him for peace and healing tonight. Lord, bring emotional healing into hidden places tonight. Heal memories carrying pain. Heal minds carrying anxiety. Heal hearts carrying grief. Heal souls carrying exhaustion. Let your presence bring comfort deeper than human words ever could bring to emotionally wounded and weary hearts tonight. The disciples reached the other side safely because the storm was never the end of their story. Difficult seasons are not the end of this story either. God still leads people through storms and into peace they never believed possible again after emotionally exhausting nights and uncertainty. Tonight, this prayer chooses trust instead of panic, peace instead of fear, and hope instead of discouragement. God still calms storms, both around us and inside us. His peace remains stronger than chaos, stronger than anxiety, and stronger than every fearful thought surrounding tired hearts tonight. Even now, while life still feels uncertain, God walks beside every tired soul, listening to this prayer. He has not abandoned this story. He has not forgotten these tears. He still speaks peace into storms and strength into weary hearts carrying emotional burdens tonight. In the name of Jesus, let every storm lose its power over this heart tonight. Let peace settle deeply into the mind. Let healing begin quietly inside wounded places. Let hope rise again where fear once lived. Let this soul finally rest safely in God's presence tonight. Amen, and thank you for praying with us.